Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
There you go. We needed just a little bit of sound. There you go. Hello, 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 and welcome to BKS1 Radio. It's your girl, Latoya Chanel, and I am here, of course, with my bestie, Miss Queen B, the Pinterest. Yes. I got it right this time. The Pinterest was here with me this time, and we are back for another Tuesday show, and I am very happy to be here. Okay. And Miss Queen B, how are you doing? You know what? I didn't clap us up. I got to go back and clap us up.
Okay.
There you go. It's not working. It's not connected. Anyway, whatever. We here. It is what it is. But go ahead, Miss Queen B. How are you today?
I'm good. I feel good. I feel great. It's just Happy Tuesday.
Your shirt says you feel amazing.
Oh, happy Taco Tuesday.
Okay.
Tasty Tuesday. Whatever Tuesday.
I like there it is. Okay. It's a bit delayed, but go ahead.
So, yeah.
Okay.
It's a great Tuesday.
Well, I mean, would you like to talk about, what happened this weekend?
You can.
Okay, well, all right.
Because you had an eventful weekend.
I had an eventful week. I had an eventful week.
And weekend.
And weekend. So for everybody who didn't see any of my social media posts, I had Okay, let's see. We had some pictures that were taken. We had a show last Tuesday. Things got a little hairy with the show last Tuesday, so hopefully we're going to be good today. And then that was Tuesday, and then Wednesday I had an event at my job for my caregivers group.
Yes.
It was actually for all the ERGs, but I was there on behalf of my caregivers group. That was on Wednesday. Thursday was opening night ceremony for Dodge Poetry Festival at NJPAC. Friday was opening night ceremony for Queen City Film Festival right here in Plainfield. And then Saturday, you and Storm Norm, the General, joined me for a Represent. That was at NJPAC, and that was featuring MC Lyte, Big Daddy Kane, and Rakim, and a number of poets. And then we had up next, which was the after event, where we had a bunch of poets who were on the bill, including yourself. Yes. And then we had DJ Storm Norm, the General, who rocked out and did the music for the after party portion. And it was a good night. It was a good Saturday. How did you feel being back on stage?
Yes. So I haven't done it in a while. So it always feels amazing, and it always feels like the first time. It was great. It was great to do. It was great. Shout out to the my village, and shout out to the people that didn't find it robbery to say, hey, you did such a good job.
Absolutely.
Or I love that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, shout out to all the other poets that were on the bill. There were some younger poets that were there, and some of the older ones that was there. Shout out to Sean, who I actually had did an interview with myself. That's out on YouTube. Everybody can go to his page, and you guys can watch that. It's a little bit more in depth about me and some of the questions that he asked. Shout out to him. I'll share that with everyone. But yeah, that was it. So it was a good night. Sunday, I did absolutely nothing. I stayed in bed all day long. I got up to eat, and I went right back to bed because
that was a good day.
Yeah, because after all of it, I was done. And
you got to have that reset day.
I reset, and then back to work on Monday.
I think for me, first of all, I just want to say MC Lyte, all of them, Big Daddy Kane, all of them did an amazing job.
They did.
Right? The poet, my favorite poet was there, Mahogany Brown. That is my homie. She was excellent. It was such a it was just a dope night. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how dope it was.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like, you know, like hip hop meets poetry, and it was everything.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in like a Brown Sugar movie. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
Like,
Without the hip hop Dalmatians.
That part. that part.
I'm out too. Huh? Okay.
But shout out only because, you know, and this is the thing. Let me tell you about let me tell you about my people, my people. We
Go ahead.
It just, we showed out. We showed up and showed out.
Yeah.
And it was just excellent. I love the dance part. Like, that to me was like everything. Like, everybody playing and dancing and doing whatever, and then line dancing. It's like candy. You know, of course he played that, and everybody was on the dance floor. The funniest thing was when a guy acted like he was hurting, and then he went up there and started
we
dancing.
got that on video.
You got that on video because I got it too. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole night. And I think what we represented, you know, because we don't often talk about injustice a lot. We live it, right? We live it daily, and it's been embedded in us because it's kind of woven in our skin. It's like the fabric of our skin, right? We know injustice from when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You just know it. And I don't know. For us to talk about it, it was just everything. To listen to, like you said, the little 14-year-old, amazing.
Yeah,
like, she is going to be a force to be reckoned with when she gets older. Tashawn he never surprises me, right? And he came out with that song. Listen, he came out with an old song.
Naughty by Nature.
Oh my God.
Tashawn, like, to sing. I'm gonna start calling him to sing. That's what I'm gonna start calling him. I'm gonna call him to sing.
I was just so amazed, but the thing is, he's just that.
Yeah,
right? He's just dope like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I like to see us. I like to see, you know, just more poets do a lot of things. You know, I know we have like crazy lives, but it's just amazing to be around.
Absolutely.
You know,
it is.
You're kind.
It is. It was a dope night, and thank you to everybody who participated in it, no matter what it was. Shout out. Thank you, Norm, for making sure that Miss Jones was there, because she hosted Represent for us.
Yep.
So, you know, just getting her there and making sure the main show was all that it needed to be, and then our post show, making sure all of that was what it needed to be as well.
Ran smooth.
So everything ran smooth. Everything was good. So shout out to everybody that had a part in all of that. And we are back in studio now, and that's it. So you ready for today's show?
Yeah.
Okay. So for everybody who has been waiting, we are going to have, you know, the gentleman back in studio with us next Tuesday. And we're going to get back into our series about, you know, safe spaces and Black love and marriage and family and all of those things. We're going to be getting back into that next week. So for everybody who's been commenting and the phone calls and the DMs and all of the things that we got, next week the guys will be back in the studio with us. Therapist Dr. Darcella Sessoms will be back in the studio with us as well.
Yes,
and
that's always good.
Yes, that's always good. And I wanted to shake some things up a little bit. We're gonna have some married men who are going to come in the studio with us as well and speak on some things. Gonna have some married men. Gonna have some single men talking about Black love and you know, so we'll go from the dating perspective to the married perspective. Expectations, because I think a part of what's going on nowadays is you have 40, 50 something folks that have never been married, and their expectations are just off.
Okay.
They figure, well, because I'm 40 or 50, this is how things should be. You know what I mean?
You know, I don't like the
should. How
you
things should be.
You should say.
Right.
You should have reacted.
Right.
I don't like
And a
those.
lot of those folks are now dictating the culture and the narrative of Black love now. You understand what I'm saying? When it's like you don't understand what goes into being married.
But
So
we always say this though, when you stay single for a really long time.
you ain't no good. Number one. Sorry.
When you
that
stay
bad?
single for a really long
bad.
time, you really don't
say
have
that.
anybody to. I can't.
Oh wait! Shout out to Tashawn who just joined. We just shouted you out big time,
Yes.
to Sean, and
My
decided
guy.
that our new nickname for you is to sing, and not to Sean. But anyway, go ahead.
What I was saying was, I think that you made me miss my train of thought.
No.
But
When
anyway,
you're alone,
when you're alone for a really
Yeah.
long time,
Yeah.
you don't have anybody to.
There's no checks and balances.
There's no.
You're
well,
going
that first.
solely based off
That
of what's
first.
going on in your head and what you think is right
And you have a conversation
with yourself.
My luck. You have a conversation with yourself.
With yourself.
And there's nobody to tell you, yeah, that's not the way to think.
Right.
That's not the way to act.
Because that's what happens in relationships. The relationships aren't all about people just trying to change you to fit their mold or model. If you're in a healthy, or the right relationship, there are some changes or adjustments that you will make in your life that
Absolutely.
are healthy
Wait.
and for the better.
Let me tell you what I've learned in marriage. It's so crazy that you say that. Because what I've learned in marriage too is that the person is supposed to push you to your better self.
They
and
should.
that is the most uncomfortable thing because you've been living with yourself.
You're just you. Your
For
thoughts,
a really long time.
Your philosophy.
Right? And it's like, and when you get called on your BS, let's just be real.
Yeah.
When you get called on your BS, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To sit there and look you in the mirror and be like, you know what?
Because someone is shining a mirror to you now, and this is
And you don't have to do that often because hear me,
Mm-hmm.
because your friends have accepted you, because your family has accepted you, because whomever at work is like, they just like that. The other person that is with you was like, no,
That's not okay.
I'm just not going to deal with this
That's
part.
not that's
and
not
this
okay.
is the part where you can do better in, and it's an uncomfortable feeling.
First of all, I mean, your friends should be holding a mirror. But
Well,
that's another. That's another show.
another show.
But in your marriage, yes,
Yes.
you have someone who is supposed to genuinely love you, want the best for
Yes.
you,
And the better version of yourself is there.
Uh-huh.
And they are supposed to bring that out.
Yeah.
They are. Your other half is supposed to bring the better version of you out because you tweak yourself so many times. I like, what's funny is this is a true story.
Go ahead.
My favorite color my whole life has been purple.
Okay.
My whole life, my first wedding was purple. My sweet 16 purple. My everything purple. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? I actually like teal now.
Okay.
Imagine that.
What's wrong with that?
No.
What's wrong with that?
Well, what's right with it?
We grow. You change.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You change and evolve.
You should change.
All
and
of the
evolve.
things that I used to like before,
You
all of
don't-
the ways
it's
that I
different
would
now.
think
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
all the ways I would react before, everything that it gotta change.
Right.
It gotta change. You evolve. You're different.
But the whole point is even in your changing and in evolving and difference, a lot of times when you're single, people stay stuck in their ways.
That's true.
And you're not.
Well, who
you're
are
not.
they
You're not
changing
growing.
for?
You're not growing.
Who are they growing for?
I mean, a lot of times you should. The whole you're
You
not
should be growing for yourself, but
Right.
but understand if you're by yourself,
If no one's
your
challenging,
growth-
if no one's challenging
your growth is
you,
actually going to take a little
Right.
longer because
no
why?
one's challenging
Right.
you. There's no one that's close enough to you that knows you well enough to challenge you in your perspective and
Yeah.
your philosophies
Yeah.
and your behaviors
Yeah.
and your actions. And again, if this is a loving relationship and this is someone who you trust enough to marry, right?
That's the part.
Then there are some things that you trust that they know about you or you know about them where you believe their word. You know what I'm saying? So again, unfortunately, I believe we have a lot of folks that have never been married that are dictating the culture and are dictating the narrative as far as Black love is concerned.
Yes.
And what they'll take and what they'll deal with and what things should be. And it's like, okay, and what did you do in your marriage? And then when you've never committed your life to someone else, what advice can you give?
And it's ever changing. It is honestly your love should be tailor made to whoever you are with, right? Because my love and your love don't look the same.
Right.
Right? It doesn't look the same.
Right.
What you'll tolerate in a relationship, it doesn't look the same as me.
Absolutely not.
It doesn't. It just doesn't.
Absolutely not. And here's where people take out. This is what bothers me now.
Mm-hmm.
People continue to take love out of relationships.
What do?
They continue to take. I mean, if you standing on principle, and if this is right and this is wrong, oh well, this person shouldn't be together, and this relationship shouldn't last because blah blah blah. Fill in the blank. People fail to realize that when people are in love, principle and logic go out the window a lot of times.
Absolutely.
So what you on the outside feel like you're not dealing with because of principle and logic, this is someone who is in love with someone else.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can really say about that.
It's so funny because I think we've gone through that with you. I think what's funny is that a lot of times you've done this to me. Even when I'm venting to you, like, yeah, that's a whole marriage. Like, like you can't, how you would say like, girl, leave or do whatever. You're like, yeah, that's not how that go.
As long as somebody ain't putting hands on somebody, I am not the friend. You should leave, girl, because you should
pack your stuff up and stuff
or
like that.
my guy friends. Oh, she ain't this.
Yeah,
that is not something. That I would
I think
do.
That's funny because if
your life ain't in danger, you know a side of this person that I don't know. So me on the outside saying you should leave because I wouldn't put up with. Well, I'm not married to who you married to. You fell in love with that person for a reason.
Yeah, I think
I don't got nothing to do with that.
I think I agree. I think that, but I think it's just funny that you do that. I think it's funny that, when you're in, sometimes you gotta kind of take your mouth off of
other people's business
in their relationship. You got to.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, and I'm listen, I've done this.
Yeah.
Tooth drag, knockout fight, and the person is still with the other person.
Child.
Like, you be sitting there like, girl. And
ain't nothing you can do about that.
You off,
ain't nothing you can do about that.
Cut
so
you off. Hey, Youssef.
If that's your friend, then if that's your friend and you understand love, then you understand that
absolutely
you can say, you know what, I love you and I want the best for you. But again, as long as your friend is not in some sort of mortal danger, then there's really only so much you're really going to be able to say and or do.
I had a conversation with a gentleman today while I was at work, just going. And it's so funny that he also himself said that there were communications issues with Black women and Black men. That was his take. Because we were just talking about how, because he was saying, I was saying, oh, I do radio, this, that, and the other. And one of the topics that we have, that we're talking about. And he was like, well, the issue is our communication. And I was like, yes, it is our communication. And that's overall. I think that's overall with everything, even outside of a relationship, right?
Yeah.
I think we don't bridge a lot of gaps because the communication is off.
Well, but I mean, and there's so many reasons why.
Are we taught to communicate? As young adults, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, we're not.
How about this? I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see growing up for me. I didn't see a lot of healthy dialogue,
relationships, or dialogue. All of it. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I did not see a lot of. So a lot of times, how a person reacts to certain things is definitely how things played out with them as a kid. If you saw your father and mother communicate well, generally
then you're a good communicator.
Generally, you're a good communicator.
That's why I'm such a good communicator.
Did you see? No, I'm saying, are they an example of good communication?
Yes. I actually think I picked up a lot from my parents. One being their communication styles. I didn't really see my parents like how people saw parents fussing and fighting and all that stuff. That's not my experience. That's not what I saw.
Did you ever see them mad at each other?
Yeah. No. I saw my mother mad at my father. I never saw my father mad at my mother. But I was about to say,
we know that,
though. Right? But because my mother was a firecracker.
How she is. Yeah.
Yes, my mother was a firecracker. I will say now, Mom, if you are watching, this whole spirit energy thing, no nonsense. Like, nah, you got to. I did get that from her because I saw that that's how women were in a household.
Like what?
Just she a whole firecracker. My father would just be sitting there and just let her be her. He
Act
would
a
just be
fool.
like, okay. All right, my mom's name is Sandra, y'all. He would be like, all right, Sandra. You know what I mean? And I'd be looking at him, and he would look at me and smile. He didn't care. He loved her. He was going to pay the bills. He was going to do what he wanted to do. She was going to get over it in a minute, and they was going to be right back, family, community, family over, this, that, or the other, and that just was what it was, right? That's how I grew up. But, you know, men now ain't like my daddy. So I can't just pop off and think that it's going to be okay. So I had to learn that in adulthood that it was like, yeah, everybody ain't going to deal with that the way your daddy dealt with your mama.
I'm gonna just say
no attention.
I'm gonna just say because everybody knows like I have multiple sets of parents, but I'm gonna say my immediate one that I grew up with. You talk about no nonsense. My mom totally was like is not putting up with nothing from nobody, right?
No.
So I watched her not put up no nonsense with no. She ain't getting no nonsense from no kid. Yeah. She ain't getting no nonsense from no man, from no woman. Yeah, she don't care who you are.
No, and my mother would be ready to fight.
Yeah,
like at the drop of a dime, she would be ready to fight. And
my mama fight in the church. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't. Sandra.
Listen.
Wait, first of all, our mother's birthdays are a day apart.
A day apart,
so
right?
They kind of
very
like
much
the same person. You know what I mean? And when we get them together, and they, you know, it's funny. It's hilarious. But, yeah, I think I kind of get that from her. Like, I ain't gonna bother nobody or nothing like that, but don't bother me.
Yeah. But the thing is, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about the dynamics of your dad and your mom, this is the crazy thing.
Yeah.
So your mom was a firecracker, your dad was not.
Very
but do you
back.
think that he had he had hidden?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Did he get everything he wanted to say out?
If he felt like it or if he wanted
Okay.
to. First of all, it didn't even matter to him. My father and my children, my boys,
are
the same people. And my father's side of the family, everything goes like this. Everything go over their head. These are the most laid back people on the planet. Like things just don't bother them. Mm-hmm. And I think it used to bother my mom that nothing bothered my dad. So she would be like trying to get him riled up or trying to get something out of him. And he would be like, hey, you know what I mean? And that's how my children are now. Like when people meet my kids, they be like,
I'm better now. You know, I'm better now. You know,
I'm a mixture of the two.
I think biologically, I am both my parents, both my father and my mother, biologically. But you know, of course, I grew up with Jerry,
nature and nurture,
and nature versus nurture.
Right.
I am very much. Everybody says I'm her. Like you know, I'm her in a lot of ways. I think the non-communicating thing. I don't know. Cause she's a communicator, so I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I don't know where that non-communicating. I think that's innate. You know, that's something that's just within me. Like I literally had to, and I'm still. Wait, how about this? Let's be transparent. Moment. I'm still learning how to communicate. I'm still learning how to say I feel like this. I want this. I don't want that. You know, I'm literally learning that now. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember being on a date and being cold in the car and not saying I'm cold in the window and my teeth is shattering.
Ain't no way in hell.
And I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, ain't no way in hell.
So.
No, I remember you being like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much like that.
I was not. As a matter of fact, I had to teach myself not to say things.
Oh, God.
I had to teach myself to be like, Toya, that's a grown ass man. Just go somewhere and shut your mouth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I would just be like,
well, no. See, mine was my. This was levels to my stuff. I didn't communicate, but my anger communicated. So I would literally. I tell everybody all the time, right? So I'm very feminine, right? I'm feminine. I'm very feminine. But at the end of the day, I'm still.
You still
gangster.
what?
I'm still
gangster.
Firecracker. I'm still a firecracker, right?
You're still a firecracker.
So
too,
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I'm both.
Yeah,
I'm both.
I am. I am a mixture of both Sandra and Eugene. I am definitely Eugene and Sandra's daughter.
Yeah.
I can be as laid back as someone needs to be in crazy situations, because I'm not going to be the type that's going to immediately pop off, because I want to try to understand first. Like I'm always like, but why you? But now, here's my thing.
I already know what you're about to say.
After my period of understanding, I then recognize that you intended on being offensive.
Yes.
And you intended to try to hurt me.
Yes.
Or do something to me.
Off.
Gloves is off at that point. Gloves is off at that point.
So,
but up until that point, I'm going to be Eugene. Mm-hmm. Once I figure out it was intentional, then I turn into Sandra.
So I'm better now. I was very, like, I don't like disrespect, because I'm not going to disrespect you.
No, not at all.
I don't like, I do like to communicate, even though I don't it's not my strong suit, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I don't communicate, but it's not my strong suit. But I'm learning. And that's the part that I'm developing, because I just want everybody to know, as humans, we have underdeveloped traits. We have underdeveloped things that we just don't tap into, or we just they are underdeveloped, and that's a real thing.
That is a real
so that's
thing.
the whole point of having a partner, right? To utilize and for all those underdevelopment things to actually be developed.
Right. So
while being in a relationship.
So there was a sermon, and you know this sermon because we talked about it years and years and years ago. So there was a sermon I watched maybe 20 years ago, and they were talking about the purpose of marriage for men. But I like to say this is the purpose of marriage for everyone, right? Especially nowadays. The purpose of marriage is you are taking care of yourself. When you are single, and this is, prior to people having children and all those things, when you are single, you are taking care of yourself. That makes you self-centered. You are the center of your world.
Yes.
You are taking care of you. You are responsible for you. It is you against the world.
Yes.
That makes you self-centered. You are the center of your world. You are the center of you. When you get married and you marry someone else, it removes you from the center. Now your focus isn't just you anymore. Yes. The focus becomes that other person. And because it's the other person, you're now looking at the rest of the world and how the rest of the world sees and interacts with that other person, and how that person sees and interacts with you and your relationship and all those things. But the thing is that it gently nudges you from the center so that you can learn, so that you can grow, not just about yourself, but about someone else. The good part about that, though, is while you're learning about the world and other people, it teaches you more about yourself. It opens you up to well, dag, I now feel like this in this kind of situation. I wouldn't have known who I was without this situation. I wouldn't have known who I was without this partner, without me loving and caring for this partner. You know what I mean? So it's like it opens you up to a broader a broader frame of mind about yourself. Yeah. Because there's more situations and circumstances that you are now in that you wouldn't have otherwise been in if you weren't married.
That's true.
Ciao, bye. Anyway, let me read some of these comments because it's a whole lot. So I'm going to start back with what's up? First of all, hi everybody on Instagram, everybody on Facebook, and everybody who is on YouTube, and if you're listening on Spotify and all the other places, right? Okay, so Dre said, when we took should out, that's when everything went downhill. Be free, think as an individual. Nah, there's some things you should do because they work. We'll come back to that. Hey, Derek. Tasha said, you were dead on, Toya. Hey, Yusef. Aisha said, hey, Pumpkin. Aisha said, marriage is sacred. I'd let the person find their own way in their relationship. I'm going to support you if you stay and support you if you leave. Dre said, I no longer think communication is it. Derek said, communication is love languages are important.
Like, what? Andre, God.
Hey, Curlin said, hey, ladies. Derek said, no, B. Some of us don't know how to communicate. Dre said, we just different because we are raised different and not raised to get along with each other. We can communicate but still not get along. Communicate, not agree or comprehend. Tanel said, deep convo. Curlin said, communication is necessary as it's a high impact on a relationship for me. Ish said, your good and bad experiences fuel your reactions. Yeah. Seeing the way your parents handle situations and people and seeing the results of their actions and reactions affect your views. However, it's a choice on how they affect you and how much they do. Tasha said, come on, somebody. Hey, Deej. Deej said, oh, shoot. Deej said, hey, loves. And Tasha said, why are people getting married nowadays? That's a great question. And KT, my favorite ladies. Hey, KT.
Hey, KT.
Tasha, why are people getting married nowadays? That's going to have to be a completely different show because we could talk about that for the next 5 hours or that today.
I've not heard love in a long time. I know you said don't people get into it.
People get married for different reasons,
right? But I know, but there's a lot of love. Literally, what I've heard from males and females, the marriage thing,
it ain't it.
Love is totally not the focus or the beginning.
Love ain't it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Love ain't it.
Unfortunately,
love is not it for a lot of folks. Love is not the reason anymore for a lot of folks.
In order to marry you, I have to love you. I have to love you.
You sure?
I have to love you,
Look,
right?
You
I have to love you. Because at the end of the day, when all of the things go wrong, when you no longer have your teeth, when you don't,
well, you know, it's 30 and 40-year-olds that don't have teeth.
All I'm saying is, well, hopefully, I still will. But I'm just saying, there are times. I mean, just stuff go wrong, stuff go awry. You know, you can't marry for looks.
No, you better not.
Cannot. You cannot marry for looks, and you can't marry for money because money isn't always there. And you can't marry. No, you cannot marry. You can't marry for those like just tangible things. You can't really marry for that.
Right.
I know some people do.
Right.
But when all that is said and done, it's said and done, and all we looking across from each other, and we on that bench together, or we wheeling the wheelchairs together, and you got to oil mine, and I got to oil yours.
Your wheelchair's got to be oiled.
Then what?
Right. Listen, y'all do know. Wait a minute. Y'all do know this is not even the topic of our
It's
conversation
not our topic.
tonight.
It's not our topic tonight.
Y'all do know this is not even the topic of our conversation tonight. The topic of our conversation was not love relationships.
Tasha, there is not a lot of trust in marriages now.
Yeah,
I know. Come on, come on back
in, Norm. No. We about to
get into it.
The topic of our
35. You good?
Was not love, relationships, and marriage, because we are going to get back into that next week when we have the guys back in. We have Dr. Darcella back in. The topic of tonight's conversation was actually supposed to be political, right?
Yes.
We have
take your hat off.
An election that is coming up for all who don't know.
How many days?
I don't know. You know, if you don't know, we have a huge election coming up. And everybody knows we are voting on the president, and it is Kamala and Trump. And we are all trying to, I guess, make whatever best decisions for whatever, right? So I want to ask, this is my first question in regards to politics.
Okay.
Number one, are you voting? And yes, we do still have to ask that question because there are a number of people who are not registered to vote for whatever their reasons are. Mm-hmm. So the first question is, are you voting? That's number one. But this is number two. Here's my main question. Wait. Here's my main question for tonight. Mm-hmm. Why do so many black men hate Kamala?
You know why?
Why? No, I don't know why. I want to know why so many black men hate Kamala.
Because she locked up black men.
But she...
at an alarming rate.
Okay.
Is that
No.
That's their reason.
That's not mine. I'm saying that's what I've been
Because
told.
did anyone research this? Because that's not even true.
Yes, I researched it.
But I did too, and it's not true.
But that's what they said.
But that's not true.
Here's the thing, right?
Go ahead, Norm.
So we live in a microwave society.
social media, right, where we start taking memes as facts. Right. We start taking memes as facts, and if somebody posts something up and said this person is bad, then you're like, oh, I guess this person is bad.
I heard this person was bad.
Yeah. And it's like, instead of doing our due diligence and actually doing some real research, you would realize that for all these black men that's supposed to have gotten locked up by Kamala, technically only 45 of them got locked up for marijuana charges.
And not all of them were black.
And not all of them were black, right? So that's one thing. So when we're discussing that, we don't talk about the program she created called the Back on Track program, right? So she created a program called the Back on Track program so that nonviolent offenders, right, won't have a re-entry situation where it would get them jobs, schooling, training, all of that. She created a program that actually all the rest of the states took and adopted her program. But we don't talk about that. Why? Because as the late, great Dick Gregory said, black people don't do their research. Right? Yeah. So y'all want to run with that one fact. Y'all don't talk about the legislation that she
no,
passed.
it's not a fact. Y'all want to run with that one lie.
That one lie. Thank you for correcting that. Y'all want to run with that one lie without doing proper research.
Right.
You don't talk about her record as a senator. The legislation she got passed. You don't talk about that. And she's a strong advocate now of legalizing marijuana across the country so that nobody would get locked up for it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, and at the time, she was a prosecutor. In her defense, she was a prosecutor, and marijuana was illegal at the time. All right? So, my thing is, too, we got to get to a point to where we take some accountability and be like, don't put yourself in that position in the first place. That's one. That's one. Because I hate when I see rappers do something illegal or shoot somebody and you like, free John, free Rakim, free this person, free that person, when they actually did something. No, don't free them. Keep them locked up so they won't hurt my child or my daughter or my mother or whatever.
He just shot up TT and Boo Boo and them just shot up the whole neighborhood. And then, like you said, Norm, exactly. And then you saying free him till it's backwards.
Yeah.
Free him till it say he free. Like, all of that. Like, you got him on T-shirts and stuff and going up to the jail and putting whatever. But he literally just did something in your community to destroy it. Yeah. And now you mad at somebody else who's like, no, lock him up and throw away the kid.
At some point, take some accountability. And Toya, I know you want a list. You got a list of questions you want to ask. So
that's the main one.
That was, So my thing is,
why do so many black men? We still didn't answer the question, though.
Why do so many black men?
Why do so many black men hate Kamala Harris?
Because they don't do their research. They follow what everybody else. I know people that started hating her that never even read anything about her just because somebody else hated her.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I have issues with that because I'm a researcher. I do a lot of research. And if Trump was a great guy, I'll be the first person telling you he's a great guy. He's a piece of he is. And I have.
You could curse on this show. I don't think the owner would mind.
Okay, yeah. Well, he's a piece of shit. So for any black man, to me, that's sitting up there, posting up anti-Kamala this and anti-Kamala that and anti-Kamala that. When we're dealing with Trump, to me, you're just a soldier for white supremacy.
Woo!
I'm saying that.
Woo!
You are a soldier. You are a soldier for white supremacy. And this I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. And whether you family, friends, whatever like that, I got love for you. But at the end of the day, you're a soldier for white supremacy. You know what this man represents.
And what he said he would do the first day he got in office.
Exactly.
He already laid his agenda out.
This is a dangerous dude. And we playing around, we playing games. This is a serious situation when it comes to this election. And I peep the Shade Room, and I peep the Jasmine brand, and I peep Baller Alert, and all these other outlets, right, that should be kind of, putting out the truth to situations, whatever like that. And some of y'all paid off. Some of y'all are paid off by the Trump campaign, right? And you're getting a check. So, I I lost a lot of respect, even like for Dr. Umar. I lost respect. Because really? So it's okay for Trump and his crew to call Kamala a bitch. It's okay for them to call Kamala a hoe and whatever like that. So y'all gonna ride with that. With y'all little misconceptions of, but she's not black, and miss me with that.
It's still a woman. She's still a female.
What does it matter? You know what?
She's an accomplished woman with way more credentials.
Yes. Than that guy.
Than Trump, than that guy. Way more credentials, right? She's an accomplished woman. What warrants you calling her the B word? And this is why Lord Jamar had to apologize, because he called her the B word on a podcast, right? And he apologized because he realized he was wrong. D.L. Hughley apologized because his initial stance on Kamala Harris was one way. And then when he did his due diligence and his proper research,
which everybody should,
he came out and apologized, and he was wrong. Now he's a strong advocate for Kamala Harris.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did black men hate Hillary as much as they hate Kamala?
Absolutely not.
That's the
because she almost won.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to the, because you know what? We talking about relationships between black men and black women. So no matter if you think the woman is black or not, she obviously. I can say this, and I know a lot of people listening now ain't going to like it. If you brought her home and we said that she wasn't black enough, you would say that she was. You understand what I'm saying? Because when we talk about dating and marrying within our race, if somebody brought Kamala home and one of us or someone that looked like me said, oh, why you bring that girl home? She ain't even black, y'all would fight for a tooth and nail. But now that she's running for the presidency, she's not black. She would have been black enough for y'all to date and marry, and anyone with her mixture of backgrounds, you would have said she would have been black enough. If I had said, why you marrying her? She ain't even black,
Right.
But now when it comes to this, all of a sudden she ain't black, and it's cultural appropriation and all those things. Again, our relationship conversations about conversations between with us as a people, the men and the women, and this conversation here, I really feel like tie into each other, and it's all the same. Yeah. They wasn't treating Hillary like this.
At some point, it has to get back to some level of civility, because the level of disrespect that I see, to me, it hurts my heart, and it becomes, I got to say it, a lot of the people, especially the black men, are saying they would vote for Trump. One, I hate to say it comes from lack of education.
Misogyny.
It's so many different areas where it comes from, and then self-hate.
But this is the thing, right?
Self-hate.
And I keep trying to understand, right? And like you said, I mean, I agree totally with you, what you presented to us. I don't care about right now, just for the sake of conversation, I don't care about her being a black female, not black female, whatever you want to call it, right? And I don't care about him being white in Trump right now.
Has nothing to do with
but
it.
What I want to talk about is their agendas.
So let's talk about
I want to talk about their agendas. And my issue is that if you are reading this man's agenda and if you are reading her agenda, shouldn't your choice be because of that? His agenda is going to destroy this country.
It should only be because of that.
It's going to, if you read his agenda and what he has planned, and you read her agenda and what she's trying to do, I'm so confused that one, you saying I'm not voting at all. That is the most asinine thing you could actually say
it's
in
dumb shit.
This election.
It's dumb shit.
And why is this election so heavy? Why is it so heavy? Why does it have to be? It was never this heavy, like you said, when it was Hillary. It was never this heavy, right? It was never this heavy.
It's a woman of color.
Now it's a woman of color. So now we got to throw out all the stops and all. And I already know. Let me tell you something. I hear them. I hear what they're saying. I'm in line.
Are the phone lines open?
I'm in line.
Yeah, the Skype is up, right, Jeff? Yeah, Skype is up.
Because people are in these comments like they want to call in, they want to do everything.
Call in 646 646-233-1302. Again, that number is 646-233-1302.
just-
You're on the Al Show with Toya and B. Go ahead.
I just want to say, if you are looking at the agendas, I would like you to base your decision on that. This man is going to mess with public health. This man is going to mess with our finances. This man is going. I mean, it's so many things that he is about. This man is going to mess up education. This man is going to mess up everything.
But did you hear everything you just said, B? You're well versed on some of his policy making. And that's what I'm saying.
But why are you not reading?
It's lack of education.
Why are you not reading?
It's lack of educating
You
yourself.
are solely going based on the fact that this woman, weed is legal now.
But
can we talk about
here's
that?
the thing. Here's the thing. So let me discuss one of his policies.
Go ahead,
that
please.
He basically said he wanted to do. So one of the things he said he wanted to do, he wanted to put tariffs on the companies, the countries. Excuse me. He wanted to put tariffs on the countries that we trade with. And caller, get the call, but tell him to hold on for a second.
Hi, caller. Please hold for 1 second. Go ahead, Norm.
So he wants to put tariffs on the countries that we trade with.
Okay.
And my thing is, does anybody know what that's going to do? So he wants to put a 20% tariff on that, right?
Yeah.
So guess who eats that? We do.
We do.
And
guess what it's gonna do
So
to us?
if you're Amazon shoppers and Temu shoppers and all this stuff, where primarily 80% of the stuff off of Amazon and Temu is basically coming from overseas.
Hold 1 second, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically 80% of the product is coming in from overseas or whatever like that, right? When we pay for these products now, so if we was paying $10 before, it's going to be a 20% markup, so they can cover the cost of the tariffs. So basically, we're going to eat that when Trump does that.
But we're going to destroy a lot of the things that we have with these
relationships.
And we already owe them, right?
Wait, let's get this caller.
Let's get now to yes.
Hi, caller. How are you? Hello, caller. 361. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Is 16 open? Is it? Make sure 16
it's
is
open.
unmuted. Okay.
Hi, caller. Hello.
All right.
I
Call
don't-
back.
Yeah. Okay. They'll call back. Hi. If you just called, for some reason we can hear you, but you cannot hear us. So can we just talk about the education policy? You don't even have to read for this one, because he was literally just on Good Day New York, where he said the first thing he wants to do is dismantle the National Board of Education.
Department of Education.
He believes that education should be controlled by the states, the individual states. And if you are teaching anything about African American history, that you will not receive any grants and you will not receive any funding.
And guess what that does?
Now,
who does that affect, y'all?
I don't
does that
even
affect?
have to. I don't even have to read anything. That was on TV.
But-
That was just on TV last week.
But can you answer this? Who does that affect?
We know who that affects.
It affects us.
Us.
Also, what else affects us? So the fact that he says
you think you're going to get.
Right. The fact that he says he wants to give police full immunity.
Yeah.
Right?
That part.
Again, who does that affect the most?
Who does that affect?
So if you give police full immunity with no accountability, right? That's only creating an environment for more Sonia Massey's, more George Floyd's,
Central Park 5.
more Central Park
that
5s.
he tried to get executed.
Well, they just sued him
It's
again.
creating more
Yeah, I saw
of an
that.
environment for that. So this is what I'm saying. Like, know what y'all dealing with, man. And my thing is, when you talk about Kamala and her policies, I'm gonna tell you one right now that I think me and Toya can relate to, is the policy that she wants to do for seniors and with Medicare now. So basically, there's a policy Kamala is trying to create, whereas you don't have to depend on Medicaid for home health care. Let's try this call again.
Caller 361. Welcome to the show.
Yo, we really got to fix this, because I need to talk, like, for real, because what y'all spreading ain't right. It's just not right at all.
Who is this?
We can hear you.
I wish I really could hear y'all.
Is this Dre?
This definitely. Oh man, I need to get on.
It says our microphone is. Why is it saying the microphone?
We can hear
is
you.
We can hear you.
Hello.
Hello, caller. Hold on. If you. Okay, we lost him again. Not sure what's going on and why it's acting the way it is, but this would be a very interesting phone. Oh, right there. Unmute for incoming calls. There we go. That's it. All right, 361 Dre, call us back. We ready for you now. Let's go.
I've been ready for him.
Yeah. Call us back. Call us back. We ready for you. We ready for you now. Yeah, call us back, Dre. We ready for you now.
Said, we
were having some.
Bro, let's
read.
You
gotta read.
I want to know what we
Let's
spreading.
have this conversation.
Read.
Call us back, Dre.
Read.
Can you put in the chat? Tell Dre
I
to
did.
call us back. Yeah, call us back.
Please call back.
Okay.
Let's get it.
All right, Dre. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Dre. Can you hear us?
You gotta be something.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can
I was
hear
just
you.
watching. She said she hit a button for unmute calls.
Yep,
Just
we
talk.
got it.
We can
got
hear
it.
you.
We can hear you. Everybody.
Y'all can hear me.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm going to send you an interview where I forget my man's name, but he's a Republican, and he was on DJ Envy show, and he was basically he broke down everything. He destroyed the Democrats. He showed DJ Envy and Charlemagne what the plan was for the Republicans and destroyed everything.
So tell
Not
us.
only did he do it, Candace Owens does it like weekly. I'm going to send you all of that. Y'all talking about research. Bruh, I did all the research. Kamala Harris is a liar. Like, she lied about her family. She lied about having black family members. She lied about her family not owning slaves. Yo, I'm not sure what y'all reading and all that police stuff. The police stuff is if police act outside of their job, if police don't do their job, they're still going to get charged like regular people. He wants full immunity for police who do their jobs. Talk to a black police officer. I can guarantee you he agrees with that. Listen, I need to hear
Can you hear me?
We need to fix
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I swear I feel like driving the playing field right now.
Can you hear me?
I wouldn't advise
I'm
you
hanging
do
up
that.
so I can watch because there's only 5 minutes left.
I wouldn't advise you do that. Because I think everybody will be on you right now. Now, we're not talking about, as Norm said, we're not talking about YouTube things. We're talking about, watching the debate. We're talking about the things that they're presenting. We're talking about things that are in black and white. And I just can't see how you could stand behind a man that has actually decided.
Nope, we can't. It's not letting us connect.
I don't understand how you could stand behind.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear
us
you
now. Yeah, he can't hear
We're
us.
going to get this right. Yeah. But I promise you, we need to have, I asked Norm, could we have a debate on the show? Not to figure out who's wrong, but just for informational purposes so we can know what's going on and how it's going on. And I believe that we definitely need to do something like this because when you guys have an opinion on what Trump done, and by all means, I'm not no Trump lover. Like, I know this guy's a scumbag, but Kamala Harris ain't too far from it. And I'm not going to talk good about her because y'all call her black. Is that, like, you don't just get the black card like that. Your mother from India. Like, no, your dad is Jamaican. Like, we not going to play these games. Like, no, Obama. Like, we not doing all that. Like, let's stick to the topic and stick to politics.
This is not
and
about.
she does not have a plan.
Yeah,
Project 2025 is not Trump's plan. Was drawn up by people who used to work with Trump.
Come on.
Hey,
all right,
sorry,
check
Dre.
this out.
We can't.
Check this out.
We can't.
Check this
you
out.
can't hear us.
Dre, brother Dre. Let's address.
We'll have this fixed for the next show, everybody. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
let's address this, or maybe somebody else got a call because I don't know why he's not connecting.
Right.
All right, so let's address this about Project 2025 is not Trump's, bruh. All right, first of all, it's the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation, which Trump is connected to all of them. Just mute 16.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So now the Heritage Foundation, right, which created the people in the Heritage Foundation created Project 2025, right? Trump is affiliated with all of them. Vance, his VP pick is a part of the Heritage Foundation. He's affiliated with creating some of the guidelines in Project 2025. They're all affiliated. So my thing is, my whole thing is, when you said you did your research, bro, you should know that.
Yeah, but we have to make sure that, again, in this political conversation and in conversations when we're talking about relationships, that when we say we're doing research, we're not just watching people on YouTube.
And see, that's
because
exactly.
that's not
you
research.
keep sharing everything on that is based on what somebody created.
Right. We're talking straight facts, right?
Right.
So
that's
all
what
this,
I want to deal with.
Yeah. So we're talking straight facts, right? So
I don't care if the woman black or not.
So yeah.
Like, I don't care.
One that has nothing to do with nothing.
Has nothing to do with nothing at this point. We are talking about a monster who ran this country in the ground already.
Exactly.
So we're talking about, we know what he do. We know what he's capable of.
But you know what? Here's what I do like about Dre's call.
Mm-hmm.
Because it shows the problem that we have now. Of people being misinformed about things.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because here's my thing. Before I get on the platform, before I came on this show.
We all do that.
Right? I do real research, right? Credible sources.
Right.
Not YouTube clips, not somebody arguing with Charlemagne or whatever, or a Republican said this or whatever like that. No. Real research.
Real research.
Politico.
Yeah.
No, Politico
there's so many articles.
Washington Journal. People that do this for a living, right? So what I do is I take 6 sources. This is what Norm does. 6 sources.
Teach the youth.
Credible sources, right? And if out of all those 6 sources, 5 of them are saying the same thing, right? From credible, what we know is credible journalism and reporting and you know, what's the NPRs and all of these sources,
because they're out there.
Yeah. I take these sources and I say, okay, boom. So this is fact, and then I go on Trump's website and see what his policies are, and I go on Kamala's website, see what her policies are, and I see what's fact. What you called in with, bro, is pure, no disrespect, but it's a lack of real research to what's really out there. And you're putting out false information for people to hear and be like, no. So my thing is, we don't vote on if somebody is black or white.
No.
That's first and foremost.
Jamaican. I don't care what you do.
So she's Jamaican.
He started off with, she lied about being black. She lied about her grandmother. She lied. I don't care about that. All I care about is when this 4 years is here, what the hell is this going to do for me? What is this? How is this going to affect my family?
Oh, no. It's not 4 years. Because the first thing he said out of his mouth is,
you're right.
If you vote for me,
you'll never have to vote again.
He specifically said,
you'll never have to vote
you
again.
will never have to vote again if you vote for me now. And no matter if he will be able to do that politically or not, that man's intention is to become a dictator. And to completely eliminate the government as we know it. But he said all of these things.
The very thing that we were denied, right? Black people, education, right? The way to get ahead. He wants to abolish all of those things that allowed us to be deemed regular or normal or human.
And I'm gonna say this right now. If anybody calling in, and if you're getting your news from Fox News, let's not even talk. because they're not even legitimate journalists.
Not at
First
all.
of all, one,
They push an agenda.
and then two, they got
push an
hit with
agenda.
a multi-million-dollar lawsuit because they lied about the last election.
Andre, I don't care about a liar who lies about race. I want to talk about this man has lied about everything that you got to see what he did. What he created, what he did, and what he plans to do. Did you read the policies that he wants to create? Did you read the things that will hurt us? When you abolish the educational system, when you take away from teachers, he wants to actually take their tenures from them. Tenures.
Yeah.
Like he wants to abolish tenures for teachers.
I just want to go. Again, whatever her race is, I don't care. But here is why I'm introducing race into this conversation. Because when Hillary was running, there were not masses of black men that hated her and called her all kinds of bitches.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Speak on it.
It did not happen. It did not happen with Hillary. But because it's Kamala, there are an extensive amount of black men.
East Orange
that
needs him.
hate-
Do you see
that
what's going on in
hate this
East
woman.
Orange right now? Dre, do you see what's going on? There are so many families that are out of a job right now. And if we're talking about East Orange doesn't need him because exactly what East Orange is going through, that's exactly what he plans to do. No tenure for teachers? Do you know how many people will have their jobs will be up in the air every year, every 6 months? They don't get paid enough as is. And now you're talking about the tenure that they have. They're going to have to figure out what they're going to do for the next 5 years and the next 10 years. How can families live like that? I'm just saying that if you go apples for apples and grapes for grapes and policy for policy, then you would understand why we so angry at the fact that everybody is big enough. There is nothing that suits us. There's nothing that benefits us from this man.
Nothing for us, yo.
There's nothing that he presents that benefits us. It's nothing.
Nothing.
We don't make out nothing. It's not for us.
And let's go back to the point Toya was just trying to make about where was this hate?
Where was this hate
towards
Hillary?
And see, this is where we got to check ourselves, right? And this is why I said part of the problem when we said misogyny was one, you know what I'm saying? Race, this, that was another. The fact, of the, what she used to do as a prosecutor,
Yes.
all these were the issues. But I think the biggest issue right now with some of us black men, look this up, Google this, Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
Stockholm Syndrome.
You know what?
Google that, define that, and let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Because
that is my point.
Oh my
exactly.
God. Stockholm Syndrome, because
Nobody did this with Hillary.
No.
The way y'all trying to ride for
And railroad.
for Trump, a guy that had 5 discrimination lawsuits because he didn't want black.
The man just said he
didn't
just
want,
got on the thing and said that they eat what?
Dogs.
Dogs.
But listen,
They're
he
eating
don't even
the
gotta
dogs.
prove
They're
it. We
eating the
know
cats.
he racist.
listen, he had 5
eating the
discrimination
dogs,
lawsuits
they're
because he
eating the
didn't
cats.
want black or brown people in his buildings or working in his buildings.
Oh my God.
2, he had a half-black girlfriend that he told to her face, you must have got your intelligence from the white side of your family. All right? So, again, you're talking to somebody that actually researched things in history and all of that and find facts to everything, right?
That's my point. Again, her race, I don't care what she is, but is race playing a part in this as to why black men now all of a sudden hate this woman? I think so. That's my
Why are white
only
women
thing.
rallying behind Kamala, right?
Again, why didn't black men hate Hillary as much as they
black
hate
women
Kamala?
are rallying behind Kamala?
Why?
Real Republicans, conservatives are rallying behind
this
Kamala.
man is going to create a war because, first of all, let's be real. Do you know this, Dre? We owe China a lot of money. A lot of money. We're about to do tariffs and things like that. Do you understand what that's going to create? We already owe them. Do you understand what that's going to create for us? They clearly could be like, first of all, they owe us for everything. They owe us for dropping a bomb. They owe us for everything.
But you know
They
what?
He said because she's a woman and she can be controlled. But I thought that was the problem with women of color is that they couldn't be controlled. So which one?
But here's the thing. Trump is being controlled by Putin. You don't think Trump is being controlled by Putin?
Yes, I do. Yes,
of course he is.
Very much in the bed with him.
He's sending the man COVID tests and all types of things or whatever like that. You want somebody that's in bed with the enemy because Russia could really hurt us. If Russia could really hurt us, they start knowing our secrets. Russia can really hurt us. So this man's in bed with this dude.
If we wake up in that second week of November and this man has been put in the office.
This man said, I just want to tell y'all that this man
gonna
said
be
he wanted to end
is going to
the
break
Russian,
loose.
whatever we got going on in 24 hours. How you think he going to do that?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
How you think he going to do that? In 24 hours, how you think?
It's not
What's
gonna
he
happen.
going to promise him?
It's not going to happen. So when you talk about, if you look at Kamala's black agenda, right? If you look at her black agenda and a lot of the things she's offering, right? Here's the thing, right? So here's the thing. Where is Trump's black agenda? And if one of y'all put in that comment section, Trump got the Cadillac plan. First of all, that's disrespectful. One, why are you calling it the Cadillac plan, bruh? One, if he got the Cadillac
he's
plan,
calling it the Cadillac plan the same way he got the Trump sneakers out because he said niggas like sneakers.
But see, this is the ish y'all fall for.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he looks at you. He looks at you like you're idiots and stupid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black people, the fact that I've been shot, black people can relate to being shot.
I can relate
so,
to that.
Yeah, they're gonna vote for me.
They
Black
they
people
they
like
gonna
sneakers.
vote for me because they like sneakers.
They like
They're gonna
sneakers.
vote for me because they all been shot. So yeah, I mean, it's just.
And then for you Christians out there, you black Christians talking about this man got Bibles. First of all, I think it's a little blasphemous to autograph a damn Bible like you wrote it.
Like you Jesus.
Like you the author. So a lot of y'all gotta miss me on this dumb ish. Please, anytime you want to discuss or whatever like that, my thing is I'm gonna pull out facts. For those that's reading AI clips, AI generated clips, or whack YouTube clips or whatever like that. That's not a credible source for your information. Stop doing it. Stop looking at memes and say, oh, they said this about Kamala, blah, 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 so it must be true. No, do your research, man.
Mm-hmm.
This woman ain't out to get us, bruh. You better check Trump's agenda.
Can I just tell y'all this?
Remember
how he wanted to build? I just want to say this. Remember how he wanted to build like the wall or whatever? From
build
Mexico
the wall.
And all,
Build
whatever.
the wall.
Now it's a different agenda. He wants to protect us from missiles. So now he wants to.
How we gonna do that?
He wants to build something that
we're gonna have a
that's
bubble
where all our money gonna be.
like Wakanda.
That's how all our money going.
We're gonna have a bubble like
how?
Wakanda
And you gonna do that how?
in the United States?
How you gonna do that? I'm just saying. I just want his agenda. Is not the agenda. It's not the agenda for me.
Again.
That's all I'm gonna say.
My initial question was, why do so many black men hate Kamala Harris, and where was this hate for Hillary Clinton? At the end of the day,
what did it say?
What that got to do with anything?
Why do we care? I don't care who she's married to. Are we talking about policy? Get at me with policies. Get at me with policies. Talk to me about policies, and I promise you we can have a real debate. When you go and do your research, I promise you, if you talk to me about policies, I don't want to hear about who she married to. I don't want to hear about her kids. I don't want to hear about none of that. I want to talk about what the policies.
Do you know why you're hearing about that?
Why? Because.
Well, we got to wrap up. Sorry, we getting a wrap up sign.
We need to have this discussion.
We're gonna have to come back to this again.
I promise you, Dre. I want you in the studio. For this, I want you.
Listen. Tonight we started off with the whole love relationship. We went into politics and why black men hate Kamala so much. Where
all
I
want to say
coming from?
Some black men.
Some, not
all. I want to say is, let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you, go out and vote. I'm gonna tell you that if you look at the the policies that this man. I'm talking to black people. I'm talking to the LGBTQ community. Because let me tell you, there'll be a lot of disbanding on marriages that exist. There'll be a lot of disbanding on the things that he wants to not allow you to have health care under your spouse or the person that you are married to. So you guys better vote. That's all I want to say.
Listen,
vote.
and
You better vote. Don't sit there.
We're going to end on that note because Jeff said we have to go. So listen, everybody, we love you for watching. We love you for listening. Make sure you make up your mind and get out and vote, everybody. It's imperative. It is imperative. It's imperative for us. Yes, please don't not vote. Please get out and vote, everybody. We will be back next week, God willing, same time, same place, different show. And we love you all. Everybody, the comments were on fire tonight.
Love you guys.
We love you all.
We love you.
For
always.
We read every single last one of these comments.
Even after.
Even after the show, we go back and we read them afterwards. For everybody that was on Instagram, for everybody that was on Facebook, for everybody that was in YouTube, all of you all, thank you so much. We love you, love you, love you, love you. We're over time. We got to go. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.